Never underestimate how amazing it is for a young person to hear, I love you and I'm proud of you, like all the time. Particularly when stress is high. And maybe it's not in those words, maybe it's a note, or maybe it's just if your kid is more of a acts of service or words of affirmation, right? Like you make them do their laundry all the time, but you see how hard they're working. And so you do their laundry and just say like, I recognize what you're doing. I think small things like that can go a long way. And then I think the other thing is just stepping back and remembering that these are, in a lot of ways still kids, that they're developing. And so if your kid hasn't slept enough, if they're not eating enough, or if they had a fight with a friend or, like significant other, that stuff is hard. It's hard for us as adults, and it's particularly hard in adolescence. And so, it's like, if they're a little snappy, I'm not saying we tolerate that, but we say, hey, like I'm here to help you. I'm on your team. And, like, is there something I can, like, what do you need? Because that reaction, I don't think is fair. I don't think it's maybe directed at me, but it doesn't mean those emotions aren't valid. So just remembering that, our kids and the people they are doing a lot, I mostly see, like, when I talk to young people as they're applying to college, I'm actually more just amazed at how many things they have and how little time they have to, essentially be kids. And so, maybe it's, okay, you know what, this is not super important. Like, what can we do for fun? Or, how can I help you? I know you have a big test and I also know you have this big tournament. Like, let's look at our calendar over the next week and like, how can I help make sure that you feel as prepared as possible for both of these big events? Teenagers in particular are really bad at thinking hypothetically about the future. And so we can help them like zoom out a little bit and take a bit, maybe like, let's look at the next week and how we can fit these things in, because they're very much like, oh my God, right now this is overwhelming and I can't do it. And so we can use our adult brains that are a bit better at planning and foresight and hypothetical thought and reason, to maybe help teach them some of these skills. So at the end of the day, I think our job is really to love and support our kids and help make sure that at some point they're still having some amount of fun, particularly in their sport.